Greetings, fellow traders. Bubblehead here, and it's time for the daily market wrap for Wednesday, November 20th, 2019. And this is sponsored by Positive Trends Research. Before we get started here today, just a reminder that everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. All right, let's take a look and see where we're at with the market today. So the monthly chart, again, really kind of unmoved. We're down 11 points today, but the monthly chart is still pretty strong up here off of the monthly hammer. The weekly chart, on the other hand, has turned. It was a very narrow range, so when it pushed down a little bit, it turned red. So a little bit of a scare today. Now, here's the real concern right here is the daily chart. Right here's your macro trend line right here. We have our first ding in the armor, guys, on SPX in a while, right? So now it's all about closing below that or pushing below it tomorrow, right? So tomorrow, if we push below this level, we could see a quick move down, right? If we close below it, we might be able to get a swing entry down to the cloud. If we push below it, though, it could be a quick move, like I said, and it could snap up, okay? This market does not like to go down, quickly. It could, but it doesn't like it, right? It likes to flush out the weak hands. So let's take a look at other examples where this happened. Okay, so here was the first ding in the armor back here. It gave you an inside day the next day, and then it flushed a little bit below those levels after that, and then it chopped for a while, and then flushed out the weak hands. This one here, this was your ding in the armor right here, right? It flushed below that right here, which is a great move intraday, right? So that flush level was 3,000, right, to 29.56, big move, and then look what happened the next day. All the weak hands got flushed out before closing at the lows again and then moving to the downside, right? So these are very, very important distinctions that we need to keep an eye on here. So even here, this little ding in the armor here, which looks similar to what we see here today, like a little lower shadow. Okay, a little ding in the armor right here. It gapped up the next day, right? Came up 2 days, things were looking kind of bullish and all that stuff, and it wasn't until here where it closed down and gave you a lower shadow, and then by then it was, it was pretty close to the cloud. All right, so these are the big breakdown moves. We just have to understand, how SPX behaves and how the market behaves around these levels before, kind of really getting into it, okay? So today, pretty interesting stuff, right? Let's check out the 15. We're still over the, look at that, some gap fills today. Pretty important move today. So filled this gap, came back up, right? Filled a closing gap and an open gap right here. And then we have the, the channel that we're still holding, which is bullish, right? So today we were chopping around. If you remember the lunchtime market update, we were chopping around for a little bit, and then boom, news came out. But guys, this was, about as fake as any news can get, right? I don't know what kind of manipulation it is, but it's like they come out and say that we're not doing a trade deal, or it's very rare that we're going to get phase one done by December. And guess who the sources were? Who knows? It's some anonymous somebody who's familiar with the matter. It's like, really, you guys publish this stuff? And then when you read the article, it is actually saying there was some, there was some kind of like positive stuff in there too. And it's like, really, we flushed on that? And so you kind of look at this and you're like, okay, big flush down. Look at that. They buy the dip, right? So it just depends on what the news is. If the news is, that the president comes out and says we're not doing a trade deal, then we just jump on shorts and we'll just go go get puts and just go crazy, right? But that's not what happens. It's a little bit of news. So gave a couple opportunities on the short side, that we look at using some of our techniques, but then we see the reversal right here. Okay, so right off of this key level. So that was basically what was going on there. In terms of other price action today, so some interesting ones today, of course, was Target. We talked about that. We on our live stream this morning we went over this. We also reviewed it too. We got a nice hammer bar right here off of the pre-market lows. I know these lows were here, but this is a continuation bar. It's the movement bar of the earnings, right? So we ignore that. Look at these right here. Nice lower shadow right here. Gave you a 15-hour breakout. Nice 10-point move today on Target. Couldn't quite get the same activity out of Lowe's. Lowe's did not put in one of those lower shadows. It tried to break out of the pre-market box, formed the 15-hour behind, and just kind of chopped around. Ended up below the 15-hour below today. So that was kind of out of play today. CGC gave some moves today. A couple of other interesting ones. So that's what we had there. Home Depot got some continuation to the downside today, guys. Big move here, right? Put in a bullish candle, right, at the open, right, relatively bullish here, right, because it's closing the upper end of its range, and then it flushed down 15 orb down today on Home Depot, or a 30 orb down, same level. That's what we like on day two, is the 30 orb. Okay, so some good stuff there. Other than that, we basically have we had Fed minutes today. It didn't really affect too much today. And in terms of earnings, we don't have too much. I think Lazy Boy reported, NetEase reports tonight, and Jack reported. So let's just take a look at NTES. Now let's take a look at LZB. Okay, so that's down right here. We'll see if that gets any continuation to the downside. They had a miss on that. And then let's take a look at Jack, see how that's doing. Okay, big little pop on that one too. Also SPLK, I believe, reports in the morning, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Oh, no. 11:21 after. So excuse me, I thought that was tomorrow. So anyway, So good stuff. So we have a couple things going on, but we'll keep an eye on things. See if any news comes out tonight. We'll watch the futures, after 6 o'clock, and see if anything kind of gives us any continuation tomorrow. But generally, there's some weakness there. But like I said, just pay attention to now that we're broken down below that macro trend line in SPX. That's kind of one of the key things to watch. So, all right, guys. Well, I hope to see everybody on the free YouTube live stream on the Bubblehead channel tonight. So make sure you subscribe on the YouTube channel to check it out, and also check Twitter for updates. And we'll talk to you then. Remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And we'll talk to you soon.